If you're in Montenegro, you can skip the crowds in Kotor. Come to this place instead.
We wanted to have one more adventure before we left Montenegro, so we decided to go to the town of Cetinje today. We're going to stop at the bakery, get a snack, then head over to the bus station.
Cetinje is about a 75-minute bus ride from Tivat, where we are staying. The first leg of the trip is about 30 minutes and stops in Budva. That is followed by a 45-minute ride through the mountains.
It's supposed to be a toasty day today, so I'm really glad the air conditioner is working on this bus.
So we just stopped in Budva, and now we are making our way up into the mountains, across the mountains to Cetinje. All right, so we just arrived at the bus station
Here in
Cetinje. All right, we have arrived and we are going to start exploring. And we just noticed that they have a very handy map at the bus station.
The city was founded in 1482 and was once a royal residence, and I think the royal capital. Today, it houses the residence of the President of Montenegro, as well as a few important municipal buildings, and I think maybe a few embassies or old embassy buildings are here. Lots of 18th century architecture. Behind me is the last public drinking fountain here in the city of Cetinje. They were built by Prince Nikolai I after the Cetinje River dried up. There used to be around a dozen of them, but this is the last one that's still functioning.
So behind me is the Cetinje Monastery. It was actually built in the early 1700s, but it was demolished several times, and what we see behind us was mostly constructed in 1786. So we just had a chance to walk inside the monastery and tour around a little bit. It's a very small enclosed area that you can visit, but wow, what a treat. I mean, it's a Christian Orthodox monastery. There was so much iconography, and I mean, it was just beautiful inside. Unfortunately, they didn't allow any pictures, so we wanted to respect that. But wow, what a surprise and what a treat to be able to walk inside that place.
There was a monk who was showing some of the relics to people, and they were very moved by seeing them and being in the space. It was really something to see and really beautiful.
Yeah, from what we read, they have a fragment of the crucifixion cross and I think a fragment of St. John the Baptist's hand. There are several relics here that are very important. So really just what an amazing opportunity. We had no idea coming here, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful monastery inside. Now we're off to try to find the Mausoleum on Eagle Rock. It supposedly has a really, really great view of the entire city, and it's about a 10-minute walk from where we're at. This walk isn't too strenuous, but it's really humid out and kind of warm, so we're sweating a lot. So we learned this mausoleum is dedicated to Danilo Petrovich, who was the founder of the monastery that we saw earlier.
Wow, it's so beautiful up here. You can see the whole town and then the hills around it. It's just amazing. Really worth the walk up.
Something we've noticed on a lot of these buildings here, especially churches, are lightning rods. And I hear some thunder in the background. All right, well, we're heading down now for some lunch. We got some ominous looking clouds in the background, and we can hear thunder, so that's a pretty good indicator that we should move to lower ground.
There's like 4 birdhouses right all around here. So nice. I got the mixed grill and it looks amazing. My mouth is watering. I have bacon and some sausage and some other grilled stuff that looks amazing, especially after that walk up the hill.
And I got some kind of local steak that was recommended by our waiter. So we'll see how it tastes. It looks really good. But, you know, truthfully, we really should have ordered one plate and shared it.
This is so good.
Well, we just finished up lunch. Pretty good. We don't eat a lot of meat, so I'm not sure how that's going to sit with us. But we did take a bunch to go just because there was so much food that we couldn't even get close to finishing it. And now it's raining pretty heavily, so we're gonna go check out a museum nearby that Stephanie wanted to go see. And hopefully it'll stop raining in a bit because it's supposed to stop in, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. We actually have pretty good rain gear, waterproof pants, waterproof shoes, really nice rain jackets. Kind of decided to leave that stuff at home today just because we thought, it's probably not going to rain that much. Every time we do that, it rains. So lesson learned again, but we probably won't actually learn the lesson. Oh well. So the rain just stopped. It cleared up really quickly. We're going to go check out the ethnographic museum here. And just learned that it was the former Serbian embassy, so that's interesting. Should be kind of an interesting museum.
We found the ethnographic museum to be pretty interesting. The entire second floor was dedicated to showcasing traditional Montenegrin clothing, in most cases ceremonial costumes used for special events. It was fascinating to see how the clothing styles varied depending on location.
We just finished up at the Ethnographic Museum and we are heading off to see a couple of more sites before we have to head back to the bus station. So this church was built on top of the ruins of the Cetinje Monastery that was built in the 15th century. So now we are coming across the residence of the President of Montenegro, the Blue Palace. We're not actually sure if the president lives there or not, but it is the official presidential residence. Looks a little bit more white to me than blue. So we walked around to the other side of the Blue Palace, and it definitely looks more blue on this side. Well, unfortunately, our time here is up. We need to head back to catch our bus back to Tivat.
Totally worth the time to come up here. It was about an hour and a half on the bus, something like that.
About that.
With some beautiful views along the way. Would absolutely recommend coming to this town.
Don't miss it. This is one of the highlights of our trip.